All right, what's going on, guys? Luke here. We had one break even short, and then we ended up taking a win today on NQ. Two trades. Really great day today. Really good delivery, honestly. But yeah, super happy. I'm going to run through this pretty quick. There's not too much to go over on this trade. It's pretty simple. But again, guys, Alpha Futures still 10% off right now. So if you guys use code LukeX, you'll get that right now. If you guys need any accounts, because we do have a bunch of red folders this week, go check that out. Link for sign up is below. So let's get right into this. Starting off on the higher time frame, I really didn't have a strict bias. I seen that the 4 hour was ranging. I seen that the 1 hour was ranging. So what I wanted to see was clear manipulation before I wanted to make any decisions. I knew we had draws higher. I knew we had draws lower. Personally, I wanted to see buy side get run first, but ended up going the opposite way. So market opens up, and we end up putting in this wick down, then we start wicking up, and I honestly thought we were going to get a strong close. I was actually getting ready to potentially long up to this draw and then see if we could catch continuations all the way up here, but we ended up wicking back down, and then we ended up displacing down. We get a retrace. I obviously don't want to short at this point yet, just because I'm watching ES, and ES is still here, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. ES is still, I believe it was in a 5 minute gap or something, or it had put in relative equal high. So it's like, okay, maybe it just wants to flip and then continue to trade back higher. So I need a little bit more displacement. I need a little bit more to convince me in order to go short. So then this candle prints right here. Let me just take this gap off really quick. This bearish candle prints right here at 937, and I'm thinking, okay, we're probably just going to displace towards the data low. We have this hourly low. We have Asia low, which was an SMT low coming into open, but then it became invalid. So we end up putting in this close. I get a pretty shitty fill. I short off this right here. I get filled at 326, really bad fill. And I had my stop. I believe it was right below the candle. I don't know, something like that, where I was trying to get about a 1-to-1 to Asia low. So basically price came down and it took out the data low. And I went break even right here just because I figured, okay, if we were going to reverse here, there's a potential we get an SMT, because at this point, NQ was the leading bearish index. ES hadn't taken out the data low. So I'm like, okay, there could be a potential that we do see a reversal here and it would stop me out. So I want to be safe. I want to see price flush lower. And if it doesn't flush lower, I'm fine with taking the break even. So regardless, even if I did get a good fill in this, I would have gotten stopped out break even anyway. And obviously price came back, tapped into this 1 minute gap right here, and I wanted to take a re-entry right here, but I didn't I wanted to see this candle closure kind of close below here. On top of that, if you look at ES at the same time, ES gave this half-ass close. So I was like, okay, that doesn't look good. I'm just going to fade this, and if it goes lower, I'll just look for reversals later, which is what we ended up getting. So again, I short off this displacement candle at 937. I go break even at the 830 data lows, as you can see right here. This was from the red folder at 830, and I was looking to target down to Asia low, CE, the 4 hour, whatever. I was just looking for a quick 1-to-1, and basically stopped out break even. I was expecting the flush. Again, I could have taken the reentry. I just didn't like how we put in this wick and kind of swept these lows, and I didn't like the close that ES had right there. So I just decided to fade this. But if you guys did take that reentry, that's not a bad trade. Just personally for me, I just didn't like that. So from there, we swept out data low, we swept out these hourly lows, we swept out Asia low, and if you can see now, we're delivering off CE of a 4 hour gap. So I'll show you guys right here. You could see we literally ticked 4 hour CE pretty much perfectly, and we started to get a rejection up, and we have an SMT at this point. So as you can see, NQ puts in a lower low. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. So NQ puts in a lower low. ES puts in a higher low. So at this point, I'm saying, okay, we have another SMT. ES failed to take these data lows out. It hasn't tapped 4 hour CE, so it's clearly leading. And as you can see, NQ would be the lagging index because it came down, tapped 4 hour CE, took out the data low. We're getting an internal SMT. NQ put in a lower low. ES put in a higher low. So I'm looking for rebalance longs up to that 5 minute unfilled gap and potentially to our higher draws and liquidity. So let me bring that gap back up. So above we have a 5 minute unfilled gap, which is a clear draw that price can draw into, and I can use this as my break even point. We have a draw here, we have a draw here, we just have draws on liquidity higher. Okay, so what did I do? Internal SMT, higher time frame SMT off data lows. We came down, swept out the sell side. We get this strong displacement candle right here at 950. So I take the entry right off that displacement candle. And Normally, again, I usually would wait for an inversion. There's no inversion here, but we just get a strong candle closure, displacement. Like this is just a perfect opportunity for reversal. Everything's in line, so it just makes sense to me. So I take the entry here. I run my stops below the 1 minute candle. I go break even as soon as this candle closes at 9:53. We close right through that 5 minute gap on the 1 minute. So I'm anticipating price to flush through. And at this point, I took a partial at these highs. I think it was around here when ES took out the highs. Let me double check. So when ES took out the highs, I think it was 9:55. Let me just double check. I took a partial as ES was taking out the highs around here, and then I fully closed the trade around, I think it was around a 77-point trade. 395 was my final TP. I just got out here. Again, I could have held to here, but I wasn't sure if we are going to reverse at this point because, again, you look at ES. ES has just came up and took out pretty much everything. It just took out previous day high. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to play it safe here. I'm just going to get out. And again, obviously it delivered higher. We had a pullback and looks like we're delivering higher right now, but we'll see what happens. But I'll run through this again really quick for you guys. Two solid setups again. Unfortunately, first was the break even. We get displacement to the downside. Clear draw on liquidity at the data low, hourly low, Asia low. I go break even after we take the data low. Again, I get a bad fill. Don't get in on the retrace, unfortunately, and then that ends up delivering, but we get a better opportunity after. SMT off the data lows, as you can see, NQ took out the data lows. ES never did, which are these lows right here. Then we get an internal SMT, NQ puts in a lower low, ES a higher low. 1 minute displacement candle at 950. Take the entry, stops below the 1 minute candle. I go break even after we like pretty much close through this 5 minute gap on the 1 minute. And I TP based off what ES is doing. So as ES is taking out the highs, ES is taking out previous day highs. I'm taking full take profit. And this was about, like I said, around a 77-point trade. So super happy with this one. Again, I could have probably held to this wick right here, this manipulation wick from market open, but I was fine with my profits. Again, I'm not trying to catch the entire move. Like, I'm just trying to catch my piece. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Great start to the week so far. We got 3 days left, so hopefully we can keep it going. And that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.